That's what I'm saying. The bottom, but the top don't. And then that's hard. That's
That's good right there. It's the only thing. It's only there. You bring it like what's your way? There.
what?
Come like this.
That's the problem.
That should be.
You sure?
It's straighter.
I'm gonna put it at the top. Okay.
Yeah, it's better.
Screw. I'm gonna get
It's
one.
like a shalom, Israel. It's like sounds good. All right, shalom, Israel. Shalom, Yabashim Yashabak to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Bashim Yahshua to the sisters. We are the Isupk Socal School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, sold out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group.
Right.
This is the home of the truth, and we've been teaching that all so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans with Israelite forefathers are the true biblical Israelites of the Bible. We are the true God's chosen people that the Bible speaks of, and Esau is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, with that being said, you already know what it is. Sabbath service. We're going to continue in Genesis. Last week we went through the beginning of Genesis chapter 12. We went through 1 through 9. Today we're actually going to go through 10 through 20. And we'll just give you the recap as we go through the class. With that being said, you got anything before we continue?
Lies.
All right, that being said, my team, just me and the brother up here.
Layashala, which means to Israel. Which means to rise and face the east. We'll be doing the prayers in the Hebrew and then in the English. Repeat after me. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kudash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Waska, Taba'ah, Watzaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, the Thundanawa, the Come, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kaba Wasnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kaba Waskinawa, Wala'ah, Tabaya'anawa, Banasai one, Abal, Abashinawa, Mayan, Rak, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha Allah, Wahatapa Ara, I will Amam.
Now in English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done
In earth.
in earth
As it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day.
Give us this day
Our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts
As we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not.
And lead us not
into temptation.
into temptation.
But deliver us.
But deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom
And the power.
and the power
And the glory.
and the glory
Forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. Amen. Hakak the power. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai.
Shah.
Nathanalahu.
Now.
Hakak. Hakak. Ra'pa'ah. Kal Maka Allah. Wakal Malawa. Hakak. Lata heart. Amata Zariah. Hakak. La Quanya. Hamakia. Hakak. All. Rakawaf. Atuma Allah. The God Son. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Go water. Amen.
Now in English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please
Give us the power. Give us the power.
the power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. So blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Wa Ma'aka Allah.
Wa Ma'aka
Wa
Allah.
Alahayim.
Wa Alahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Zab Ha.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapyim.
Ha Alawap.
Asaranyim.
Asaranyim.
Hakwatas Oyonyim.
Hakwatas Yoyim.
Haka Yah Yonyonyim.
Haka Yayoyim.
Waha Akwapyim.
Waha Akwapim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Go water.
The water.
Amen.
Amen. Now in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angel.
Commanding General Yahweh.
Commander General Yohana.
Generals.
The general.
Captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya.
Yenya.
All. Ahorim.
Ariam.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Ah.
Azoria. Azoria. Ma'ain. Yahweh. Aisha. Shemayim. Ba'aratzah. All Yathan. Lamawat. Regarka. All. Yanawam. Shemarka. Lana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Tazarka. Al Yad. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayala. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makar. Right. Yashamar. After Pascha. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza Afka. Waba Afka. Vayata. Wa'ai. I will up.
Now in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help.
My help
Coming from the Lord.
coming from the Lord,
Which made heaven.
which made heaven
And earth.
and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
Will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold,
He that keepeth
he
Israel.
that keepeth Israel
Slumber.
shall neither slumber
Nor sleep.
nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade.
The Lord is thy shade
Upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even.
and even
forevermore.
forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al Dam Yalaka.
All them yellow cup.
Al Taka Arash.
All the rash.
Wa Al Tashakwat.
All the shquat.
All.
All.
Kayahana.
Yeah, not.
Al Yab Yaka.
I will yabi.
Yahamaya 1.
Yahama yahweh.
Ra'ash.
Ash.
Al Aimaka.
I'm
Ya'ara Yamwa. Stawada. Wa'ata. Ya'atazawa. Al Tazapawanyaka. Amara. Lakawa. Wala Kapita. Garya. Wala A. Yazakar. Shem Yashala. Awada. Kaya. Yawa Atazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Ayuka. Baria. Yakaratwa. Ahoya. Alawam. Wa. Yashama. Alayam. Mawa Abba. Wahagaryam. Gabal. Wa Amawan. Wa Amalak. Halasha. I'm Yashab. Tazawar. Gamashawar. Nalawa. Amam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Labunya. Lawat. Salah. Aisha. Lahum. Kamaka. Kasaya. Sara'ah. Kayabyan. Balakal. Yashwan. Nashab Magwa. Bayan. Da'ara. Hayawa. Daman. La Dama. Shatamwa. Nada. Yamawa. Kaira. Wakasa Abu. Wakasa Bak. Katazalmanai. Call. That's a Yam Kumwa. Ashar. Amarwa. Naya Rasha. Lanawa. Nawa. Alahaya. Alahaya. Shayathamwa. Kagagala. Kakwash. Lapanya. Kaash. Taba Ira. Yaira. Wa. Kalahaba. Talahat. Horium. Kun. Taradapma. Basa Ira. Wabasa. Wapaka. Taba Halam. Mala'ah. Panyaham. Kwalawan. Waya. Wakwashwa. Shamka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Waya. Bahawa. Ayai. Waya. Kaparwa. Waya. Abadwa. Waya. Da'awa. Kaya. Ada. Shamka. Yahawa. Labadka. Aliwan. Alcohol. Ha-Arataza.
Now in the English, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For
lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
And
consulted
against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come.
Let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
The name of Israel.
That the name of Israel
may be no more remembered.
So they have consulted together. With one consent.
They are confederate against
the
tabernacles
tabernacles of Edom.
And
the Israelites.
of
Moab. And Hagareen. Gabal. And Amalek.
The
Philistines.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
A sword also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children.
of Lot. Salah.
Do unto them.
As to the Midianites. As to the Syrians. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kasan.
Which perished at Endor. They
became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles
like Orel. And like Zaid. Yea.
All their
princes.
As the Bach.
And as Amunia.
Who said, let us take to ourselves
the house of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Make them
like
a wheel.
As the stubble
before the wind.
As the fire burns the wood.
And as the flames set the mountains
on
fire.
So
persecute them
with thy tempest.
And make them afraid
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
They may seek thy name.
That they may seek thy name.
Oh Lord.
Let them be
confounded.
And troubled. Forever.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame.
And
perish.
That men
may know that thou,
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
are the most high
of all the earth.
Sorry, it's me. All right, you may be seated. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to continue pushing this truth out.
Right.
So for anybody who is new to Sabbath service, Priest Officer Ilatazar is going to read from the Tanakh, so everybody knows. He's going to read the first verses in the Hebrew, and then we're going to go over them in the English and give a breakdown.
Okay.
We're going to be starting from Genesis chapter 12, verses 10 to 20.
All right, verse 12 to 20. Lucky, everybody. To get everything set up. All right, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 10 in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ra'ai, Ba'aratazah, Wayaradah, Abaram, Matazarayama, Lagawa, Sham, Kanya, Kabad, Hara'ai, Ba'aratazah, Wayahaya, Ba'ashar, Hakwaraya, Labawa'a, Matazarayam, Mariam, Waya Amar, Al Sharya, Ashathwa, Hanaha, Na'a, Yada'aitha, Kaya, Asha, Yapath, Mara'ath, Atha, verse 12. Wahayaha, Kaya, Yara'awa, Atha, Hama, Tazarayam, Wa'ar, Wa Amarwa, Ashathwa, Za'af, Wa Aragawa, Athaya, Wa Athaka, Yacha, Yawa, Amarwa, Na'a, Akath Ya, Af, Lama Ain, Yayata, Laya, Ba'aiba, Waraka, Waka, Yata, Napasya, Bagal, Laka, Wayahaya, Kabawa'a, Abaram, Matazarayam, Hamatazarayam, Ad Ha'ash, Ad Ha'asha, Kaya, Yapa, Hawa'a, Ma'adab, Waya, Ra'awa, Ata, Para'aha, Waya, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Ata, Al, Para'aha, Wa, the Kwaka, Wa, the Kwaka, Ha'ash, Bayath, Para'ai, Wala Abaram, Haya, Tayab, Ba'ai, Wara'a, Wa Yahaya, Lawa, Taza Ana, Wa Bakwar, Wa Kamorium, Wa Adawan, Wa Abadyam, Wa Abadyam, Wa Shapaka, Wa Shah Pakath, Wa A Thanath, Wa Shah Pakath, Wa A Thanath, Wa Gamalayum. Verse 17, Wa Yanga I, Yahweh, Ath, Para'aha, Nagayim, Gadayim, Wa'ath, Bayathwa, Al, Dabar, Sharyam, Ashatwa, Abaram. I just finished. Verse 18, Waya Kora'ah, Para'ayah, La'adaram, Waya Amar, Maha, Ta'ath, Ashayath, Laya, Lama, La'ah, Hagadath, Laya, Kayam, Ashatka, Hawa'ah, Lama, Amarath, Achathya, Hawa'ah, Wa'a, Wacha, Atha, Laya, Lasha, Wa'ata, Hanaha, Ashatka, Kwaka, Walak, Waya, Tazawa, Al Yuwa, Para'ai, Anashayam, Waya, Wayash, Lakawa, Atwa, Wa'at, Ashatwa, Wa'at, Kal, Ashar, Lawa.
Stop it up. All right, so we're going to begin from the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 10 in the English.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 10. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. If I may, go ahead. Why did Abram go down? Okay, if there's a famine, why is Egypt the one that has a surplus supply of food? Why would he go to Egypt? Why would he not go anywhere else? You can ask online too if you do.
So you raise your hand.
What's the question? Why, if there's a famine in the land during Abram's time, why did he go down to Egypt?
There was the power at that time. I mean, I think he went there in order because it's a lot going on, and he could have picked something from out of it just to survive, maybe. You answered when you first said there was power
right
there.
You were right the first time, yeah.
You have to say at this time, Ham is running the world. Remember, we just left the Tower of Babel. Remember, Nimrod was over there at the Tower of Babel. They built that up. So that was Hermetic. All Ham did that. So you got to think, we're going to Egypt now. Where who else is there? Ham. Ham is in control right now. Ham has it. And if you look at Ham on the map, or you look at Egypt on the map, that's like the biggest supplier of where the water was coming from. The Mediterranean Sea is above it. There's another sea right next to it. But all that sea, people are traveling now at this time. There are boats. There are people who's exchanging goods from the land of Shem to the land of Ham, from the land of Japheth to get to the land of Ham. You have to go through barriers of sea. There's channels. There's boats that they need to do. Get like anybody else. If you want to do trade over here, if you want to, put your goods over here, or if you want goods from us, we're taxing. Just think in today's time. You have to go over here because there's a surplus of food in Egypt. Abram's not done. Remember, Abram comes from good stock. Him and Lot. They come from the land of Haram. Haram is Lot's father, I believe, or grandfather, one of the two. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, his father is Abram's father is Terah.
Terah, and Lot's father is grandfather is Haram, or father is Haram. That's why that's his Lot his nephew.
Right.
So boom, they was in their land. So they just left their land to come down to Egypt. Even though they went to the Philistines' land, they came down to Egypt to get the surplus of food. Why? Because there's food and there's power in Egypt. Here's where you're starting to see Egypt being a superpower in the world. Because you got to remember, everything before the Exodus was surrounded by Egypt. It was centered in Egypt. So that's why he goes to Egypt. Just think, coming. You got anything, sir?
Yeah, if I could real quick. So, like you said, like for the young man, for anybody who might have not heard what he said, you were right the first time. They were the superpower on the planet at that time. Now, later, we'll get into it as we go through Genesis. Definitely when we get to Exodus. And of course, we'll go over how we exited out of Egypt, how evil Egypt was.
Right.
No different than modern day Babylon today, and how they lost their power. I just wanted to bring this out real quick. Not really off topic, but a lot of people, I'm just gonna say a lot of Judites, here in America, think that we are Egyptian. Now, this is the reason why. Who is Mizraim? Hence, I kind of gave you the answer as I was talking.
Right.
Go ahead.
What's your question?
Who is Mizraim?
Israel?
Mizraim. Who is the nation of Mizraim?
I'll take a shot at it.
Go ahead. Just put it like this. What are we talking about? Who are we talking about?
A connection of Africans?
Yes. Now, who specifically?
I don't know.
Egyptians. The Egyptians were Mizraim, the nation of Mizraim. Now, who was Mizraim's forefather? Ham. And Ham, you go through the Zondervans, of course, is the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes.
Right.
The reason why I'm bringing this out, and I'm saying this mostly for a lot of brothers and sisters who study Egyptology and think that we are descendants of Egyptians. We are not descendants of Egyptians. There were black slaves at that time. Now, who had Israel in captivity? The Egyptians. So we understand that these dark races of people, though not Hamitic, were Shemitic people, and we were in slavery at that time. We were in Egypt. We just weren't the real Egyptians. Why I'm bringing that out is because now, you know how the white man tries to, cover the faces of everything and make everything whiter and lighter. Now, the nation of Egypt you see today, those aren't the real Egyptians.
Right.
They brought that up many times. You have the Arabs, you have the Middle Easterns. There were different nations that, of course, later came in because Mizraim was dethroned. They were no longer the superpower. I could be wrong. I believe it's the modern day Sudanese. Yeah, Sudanese. They are the descendants of the actual Egyptians because they were a black race of people, but they were us. So I just want people to understand that because a lot of Judites, some Benjamites, I'm going to say Southern tribe. I'm going to say that. Southern tribe, brothers and sisters, for some reason they cling to Egypt. And I understand why. You cling to Egypt because from your knowledge, you understand that Egypt was a superpower. Right? And that's all you know. We were there, but you don't know your position there.
Right.
So, of course, now we're in modern day America, South America, the Caribbean, so on and so forth. And we have been dethroned. Now, we're trying to pick back up our culture, but immensely want to cling to this superficial power that we thought we had. No, we are not the Egyptians. The Egyptians were black, just not us.
Right.
Just so I can throw that out there. They were dethroned, and now a lot of them, they're not even in their own home. Egypt today is occupied by other nations. Those are not the real Egyptians.
Right.
But we are not Egyptian. So I just wanted to bring that up. You're good to continue.
The book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 11. And it came to pass when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai, his wife, Behold now, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon.
Question. What does it mean when we say a fair woman? We brought this up a few times. But
Tempting?
okay, not the word I'm looking for, but you right there. When at that time when we described a woman as fair, what do we call it?
Pleasant to the eye.
I'll take it. Pleasant to the eyes. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'll take it. She was a beautiful woman. So, at this time, we're about to get into it. Abram and his wife, Sarai, are going into the land of Egypt. That's where the Lord wanted him to go. Not to get too off topic, yet again, Abram, who later we proved last class that he was the Most High's friend, which is a very heavy title, by the way.
Right.
But he found grace in the Most High. Every single time you read of a man who had the grace of the Most High, he ends up being saved. He ends up being separated from other nations. We read it about Noah. Noah found grace in the Most High. What was Noah told to do? He was told to build the ark. The Lord, the Lord was going to kill people.
Right.
I want y'all to understand that. The Lord was going to flood the earth. It was going to happen. But he looked at this man and he said, you know what? Out of everybody I've seen on the entire planet, this man right here, Noah, this man is righteous. So you know what? I'm going to flood the earth, but I want him and his family to separate from them. Abram was told to leave out of, not Hawaii, before that. It was, I just want to get the name correct. Guidance for activity in Ur of the Chaldees unto a land. Yes, they were in Chaldees at the time. So my point being is, there was other people there. Right? There were other men, other women, children, but out of everybody there, the Lord wanted Abram and his wife Sarai and Lot, who was his nephew, to separate from them. Why? I kind of gave the answer already when I said no. Why do you think he was separated?
Found favor?
I'll take it. Yes.
Why did he find favor?
Matter of fact,
Why would the Lord? The Lord is going to destroy everybody. Why does he? And he saves you. He has shown you favor. Why does he find favor in you? What are you doing to the Lord where he should favor you instead of anybody else?
I'm having to get a precept.
He may have
What?
he may have been doing something good to where the Lord could be of use, to where the Lord can use him for his purpose.
Give me, you're not wrong. Give me the book of James, chapter 2, verse 23. Should be farther in the back. The book of James, chapter 2, verse 23. Again, we're going to prove it. Because, yes, he did find grace from the Most High. Noah found grace from the Most High. I would give y'all the one from Genesis, but we've given that one to y'all too many times, so I wanted to make sure you remember this one as well. As to why Abram, later Abraham or Abraham, which means father of a multitude or father of many nations, was considered a friend of the Most High. Why was he considered a friend? Why was he told that he could leave out of Chaldees and go to Egypt, despite there being a famine and there were other people there? You got it out?
So
James chapter 2, verse 23. Go ahead.
This is the book of James, chapter 2, verse 23.
Go ahead.
And the scripture was fulfilled, which saith, Abram believed God, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness.
For what?
For righteousness.
For righteousness. Keep going.
And he was called the friend of God. Verse 24.
Go ahead.
You see then how that by works a man is justified, and not by faith only.
And you can stop right there. So we understand that he was viewed as righteous, but just not by faith alone, by his works. He proved himself. That's what I'm getting at. Noah proved himself through his works.
Right.
All right. You can't just say you believe God, but you're not partaking in the action to show that you believe God. Noah proved that. Abram proved that. He found grace from the Most High. And guess what? You said a word earlier. You said that, I'll just give it to you. You said he found favor. The Lord found favor in Abram. What happens every single time the Lord has a favorite kind of people? What does he want them to do? War, not war. I'll give you a hint. It starts with an S.
Serve,
Yes, but not that one.
stay,
No.
Nope.
Okay, I'll give it to you like this. In the Tower of Babel,
It's fine.
Tower of Babel, at one point in time, we all spoke one language, right? But the Lord had a favorite. Just like he had a favorite in Noah, he had a favorite in Abram. So because of that, he wanted other nations to what? Separate. There you go. Most High in Christ. He wants other nations to separate from his favorites. He wants his favorites to separate from the other nations. That's why Abram was told that he could do it. Lord could have said to anybody else. But he wanted to say Abram. Not just Abram, his wife and Lot.
Right.
So I'll leave it at that slide.
If I may, precept, Psalms 145 and 17. The Lord is righteous in all his ways and holy in all his works. Since we're talking about separate. Verse 18. The Lord is nigh unto all them that call upon him, to all that call upon him in truth. Abram was calling on the Lord. The sons of Shem was calling on the Lord. Noah was calling on the Lord, and the Lord, because they were calling on the Lord in truth. What is the truth? Psalms 119, 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is in the truth. When you calling on the Lord in spirit and in truth, and you sincerely want to serve the Lord and keep his commandments, the Lord, you're near unto the Lord. You're nigh unto the Lord. The Lord will protect you and save you and sever you from the damage that he's about to rain on anyone else. He will separate you. That's what he did with Abram. He told Abram, don't pack up and go move somewhere else. He separated Abram. Why? Because Abram served the Lord in spirit and in truth. He was near unto the Lord. The Lord will not leave you out in the cold if you're serving him. He will not. He will send you down to a place that has a surplus supply of food while the whole world is starving. Literally, there's a famine in the land. Everyone on the earth is starving. You know, it's funny. The same thing happened here. COVID happened and everybody went crazy. Guess what? We did not go crazy. We did not go. We knew why. Because we knew we served the Lord. We're near unto the Lord. All you got to do is serve the Lord out. Whatever problem you got gets fixed by serving the Lord. Nothing can solve any problem you have unless you're serving the Lord. Serving the Lord is going to save your life. It's going to save your life. Abram could have died in that land he was in. Why? Because it's a famine in the land. What did the Lord do? He told him to go down to Egypt. And the Lord severed him from everybody else who was out there because he wanted Abram to survive. Why? Because Abram was keeping the laws. That's my point. That's the point of the whole Bible. That's where we're going to get at. When you serve the Lord out, you ain't got to worry about nothing. You ain't got to worry about nothing. I don't care about nothing going on in my life because I serve the Lord. Because I know everything will be all right. Verse 12. Therefore it shall come to pass when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife. And they will kill me, but they will save thee alive.
Stop right there.
Stay right there.
All right, so it says, therefore it shall come to pass when the Egyptians see thee, meaning, remember, Abram prior to this said that his wife Sarai is a fair woman. Now we obviously know that today that will translate into a beautiful woman, a woman that's pleasant to the eyes, as you said, an attractive woman, right? Abram is feeling as if, okay, I'm going to go to Egypt. People are going to see my wife.
Right.
They're going to think she's very attractive. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to kill me, but they're going to save her alive. Which, okay, there's a few things you can take with this. Sadly, that is the nature of some men out there. You shouldn't have a spirit of, oh, I don't want to be seen with my wife because, you know, they might see her and they might try to kill me. That's called being a coward.
Right.
That is your wife. It's your wife. She belongs to you. Okay? She's beautiful. I mean, hey, she's your wife. Obviously, you think she's beautiful.
Right.
But you shouldn't have that kind of spirit, right? And let me see. Give me Proverbs 28:1. Let me get two precepts. We'll start with Proverbs 28:1, and then we'll go to 29:25. We're both going to be in Proverbs. Right?
I got the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 1.
Okay.
The wicked flee when no man pursueth.
The wicked flee when no man pursueth. Now, I want y'all to understand something. Abram, amazing brother, right? Amazing brother. King David, amazing brother. King Solomon, amazing brother. Samson, amazing brother. These were all great men in the eyes of the Lord. However, each had their shortcomings at one point in time.
Right.
And they were recorded and put in this Bible for us to learn from their mistakes. Now, we can talk one more time about the show.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The wicked flee when no man pursueth.
It says the wicked flee when no man pursueth. Before he even getting in Egypt, Abram is now adopting a very weak spirit.
Right.
It's a very, I know this might throw some people off. It is a wicked spirit.
Right.
To be a coward is to be wicked. I want y'all to understand that. Because when you're a coward, let's say you go somewhere with the Akim, right? And I don't know, something might just happen. Somebody's attacking your brother. A righteous brother will put his life on the line to save his brother. You know what a coward will do? He'll leave.
Mm-hmm.
He'll try to save himself. Like, oh, I don't want nothing to happen to me. He'll save himself and leave his brother to die. You know what a weak man will do? A weak man will let his wife do whatever she wants to do, not understanding that you're throwing her for slaughter. Because if you allow her to do what she wants to do, especially here in America, they teach you to be anything you want. You teach your wife that, she's going to be destroyed. Don't let Babylon guide your woman. It's your job to guide your woman.
Right.
That's called being a coward. When you're a coward, other people may pay the price for that. So, in a sense, being a coward is wicked. Continue.
But the righteous
Go ahead.
are bold as a lion.
The righteous are as bold as a lion. You can take this I'll put it in a simpler sense, right? You got a son. Son getting picked on at school. Somebody puts hands on your son. Do you want your son to just sit there and just get beat up? The person may be bigger, stronger than them. What would you like for your son to do? Go ahead. Defend himself.
Right.
You want him to defend himself. Why? You don't want your son to be weak. A righteous man does not want his children to be weak, especially his son. Because now, if you just let him think that, oh, anybody can beat me up, you know what's going to happen now? He's going to grow up. Let's say he does get a woman. He can't even defend himself. He doesn't even have the mindset to defend himself. You think he's going to protect his woman? You think he's going to protect his children? He's going to be a coward. Don't be a coward. That's why in the school we have a slogan saying "No excuses, no cowards."
Right.
We say that because we know what comes with cowardice. Don't be like that. Anything else on that?
Lot.
All right. Give me
29, 25.
29:25.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 25. The fear of man bringeth a snare.
So now I want people to really understand what that says. Let's say a man fear.
The fear of man.
The fear of man. Understand what that means. It says what?
Bringeth a snare.
Bringeth a snare.
Mm.
A snare is what? A trap. When you start to fear man,
Right.
you're already setting yourself up for failure. Because
Right.
it creates a trap, which we're going to read in a little bit. It creates a trap. It creates a snare. You shouldn't fear man, because when you fear man, guess what? You're going to do what he wants you to do.
Right.
that's what a lot of people, sadly, they adopt that today in modern day Babylon because guess what? You fear Esau. You fear Esau. Some of y'all might not think y'all really do, but you fear Esau. Those who know. To the point where I've seen it, we've all seen it. You want to be all blackety black, or you're pro Latino, or I'm Native American when you're amongst your people. And then guess what? White man come around, you fear him.
Boy, what?
You fear him. He bumps you on the side of the street. You say, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me." He ain't saying nothing to you. With that, he's already telling you, "Get the hell up out of my way. You're nothing." You fear him. Why? People are afraid to pay their taxes. I'm not saying don't pay taxes. That's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying? You're afraid that if you don't pay your taxes, guess what's going to happen? IRS won't come after you. You're afraid, and Esau designed it this way. You're afraid. When you're afraid, you're a coward. When you're a coward, other people pay the price. You're afraid of another man. You're not going to defend yourself. That man snatched up your woman, and you're afraid? You better put that fear aside. You better go defend your woman. You better go defend yourself. Because you as a man, you are a leader. You are the authoritative figure in your household. People are looking to you for guidance. People are looking to you for protection. If you can't do that, guess what? Not only are you going to die, your family's going to die. Your wife's going to die.
Right.
Your son's going to die. Your daughter's going to die. Your grandkids, Lord allow, they're going to get, they might die. And when I say die, I don't necessarily mean physically. They might die spiritually. Your son is going to grow up seeing a weak man. Guess what? He's going to be weak. And then his son's going to be weak. If he even gets that far. You might have a son that's so weak, he might not even want to be a man. He might want to be part of the community, if you know what I'm saying. Now he would man. Because he thinks of himself as a woman.
That's wild.
That will be happening sometimes. So my point being is, you shouldn't fear, man. Because it says it'll bring up a snare. Any more on that?
Hold on a second. The fear of man bring up a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe.
So now we're going to read, we'll go back to Genesis. We're going to read why at this time Abram should put his faith in the Lord, as he's done before. That's why he was even allowed to go over to Egypt in the first place. But we're going to read this account because this is put in the Bible for a reason. Abram was an amazing man. Don't get it twisted, but his shortcomings had to be put into the Bible so that we as men can learn from this.
The book of Genesis chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore it shall come to pass when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife. And they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. I have a question. Why is he telling her that? Now, remember, they've already traveled. This is not the first time they traveled. They've sojourned twice already. Why is he now telling Sarai to say she's his sister now in the land of Egypt? Make you think. You got to realize now, this is the Bible. Nothing is put in here for no reason. If the Lord don't give a damn about it, he wouldn't say nothing about it. He made sure that this specific thing is put in there. So question is, why is this man in Egypt? Now they sojourned twice already. Why is he telling them, hey, look, why is he telling Sarah, hey, look, when we go over here in Egypt, you are a good-looking woman. Tell them you're my sister. Tell them you're my sister. Do not say you're my wife. They're going to kill me if you say that. Why is he saying that? What's up?
I'll take a shot at it.
Come on. Let's class one.
I think he's fishing. He's giving her room to do some things that he's I think down there he's usurping his authority to his woman. That's the best I can think of.
No. Be shocking. This is what class is for. You spat out an answer as you thought about it. That's not why. Give me Genesis 20 and 11. Let's go.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 11. And Abraham said, because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place.
Read that part again.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 20, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham said, because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will slay me for my wife's sake.
That's all I need. You gotta understand that story in Genesis 20, they're now dealing with the Philistines. Abimelech is a Philistine, which is another Hamitic nation. Right now, you back in Genesis 12, he is now in Egypt. Mizraim, what is Mizraim? Yeah, he say Mizraim. I say Mizraim. Say tomato. Right? That's another Hamitic nation. Here's what he knows, and here's what everybody on the planet knows at this time. Ham is cursed. We know that Ham is cursed based off of who? Based off of Noah cursing Ham. And we know that God is the God of Shem. We just read that. So God is the God of Shem. Ham has took over the land. Ham is now the world's superpower. Everybody knows it. All the children of Shem know it. They're near unto Shem at this point. They're near unto God at this point, especially Abram. He knows the fear of God is not in this place. Again, when he says the fear of man bringeth forth the snare, that's what's happening. He understands that God is not in this place, so he starts to what? He starts to fear what man can do to him. Instead of him fearing what the Lord can do to him, he's saying, man, God not with these people, so they wind up to do anything to me for my wife's sake because she's that bad. You got to remember, this is one of the foremothers of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. The baddest sisters on the planet come from this lady.
That's right.
So you're gonna tell me she not fine? This lady bad. Like, just imagine the baddest woman on the planet is probably this woman. Everybody, they're in Egypt. Everyone in Egypt has seen every other woman in Egypt. They see this sister walking around, they like, damn, we got to get her. Abram knows that. He knows that. And in his mind, he knows I am going to another land. The land that I'm going to, the Lord is not in that land. So what will they not do? They will not serve the Lord. They will not even practice what the Lord do. Even a brother in the world, it happens with brothers that, try to have some sort of spirituality. They won't really talk to your woman. They won't unalive you for a woman. If anything, the most they'll do is just sleep with them behind your back. But he is saying the Lord is not even near these people, and the Lord has cursed these people. God is the God of Shem. God is the God of me. He's in that land right now, like, I don't even want to tell them this is my wife, because they're going to take her. They're going to take her, and they're going to unalive me. Why? Because God is not in this land. These people do not fear the Lord. They don't have consequences. We have consequences. Once you learn about the Lord, you understand we have consequences. We smoke, guess what? We're gonna get lung cancer. We're gonna die. We do drugs, we're gonna die. We eat pork, we're gonna die. We know that we sleep with another man's wife, we're gonna die, she's gonna die, we're all gonna die. We know that. The Shemites knew that at this time. Shemitic people, right? That's where you get the word Semitic from. We knew that. The Hamites didn't care about that. They didn't care. And he knew they didn't care. And he knew they was different, and they knew he was different. So this man is telling his wife, hey, just tell me you my sister. Because if you say you my wife, they're going to unalive me, and they're going to take you and have your way. Or have their way with you. Cowardice, but understandable. You can always understand a coward and why he's a coward. You can always understand it. You just shouldn't be one with him. I digress. Verse 13. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake. Here we go again. That's an excellent precept. That's actually one of the best precepts. Pull it out now. 29, 25.
Yeah.
Literally, you start to fear man. The fear of man creates a snare. He's literally telling her to sit. Just lie. They are now plotting on lying to people out of the fear of man. That lie right there could get you unalived by the Lord.
And if I could real quick, like talking about that snare. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. So he's telling his wife, if anybody asks you my sister, right? What's gonna happen? And this how it like in a sense, Abram tricked himself, and I'm gonna show you why. He's telling everybody that this is my sister. What do you think is gonna happen when they think, oh, that's his sister, not his wife?
We gonna get out. Oh, so like,
well, it's to what? Well, to give it to you like that, yes. Now it's, oh, that's not his wife. Oh, she free game.
Let's get out.
Hey, how much you want? How much you want for your sister? Because now because a lot of times in a lot of cultures, actually, whether it's the father or the brother, whoever the man is in that family, they see in this sense they think this is his sister.
Right.
Oh, this your sister? They're gonna try to bargain with him, like, oh, like she ain't got no man, she with you. Hey man, they're gonna deal with the man. Like, how much? Like, what do you want? Like, you want these goats? You want this bread? Oh, I can give you this land. I know, but I had to get it out now. It's like we won't get into it, but we're gonna prove it through the scriptures.
Right here.
You know, let's see. They really now have reason to pursue her. Exactly.
Right.
Because now, oh, that's his sister. It's good. I'm definitely gonna talk to her now.
Right.
That's the trap.
Right.
He's so fearful of man, and I'm glad you brought that precept up. By the way, he doesn't think like you said. This is the land of Ham. Oh, God's not in this place because a God-fearing nation. You know what they're gonna do? Oh, that's your wife.
Right.
Shalom on Christ. Keep pushing.
That's it.
That's it. Right. But God not in this land. So these dudes, they gonna do whatever they want. They gonna do whatever they want. They don't care if she's my wife or not. They gonna kill me. So you know what I should do? Hey baby, this time about you, my sister. You're not even realizing you setting her up for failure.
Right.
And that's why I said earlier, for you being a coward, it can cause your family to suffer.
Right.
Because now, if he's telling his wife that he is sleeping with, that you are my sister, men have nothing to stop them from getting that.
Right.
So now, let's say hypothetically, he chooses to roll with this lie. He chooses to roll with this lie continuously. You know what's going to happen? That's going to lead to her sleeping with another man. Abram doesn't understand this yet, right? But we're going to read more as to why it's so bad. It's a lot here.
It's funny, and it's so okay. And I'm just thinking about this spiritually. Right now, he's just a young man. He didn't get the name changed. So this dude,
this isn't Abraham. This is
Abram. So he's trying to serve the Lord. He's trying to figure it out. Everything is coming to him, and he thinks what he thinks. He thinks as a young man thing. We all, even sometimes even as a young officer, you be like, but here's the kicker about the Lord, and this is why I love school. I don't get paid to think. You don't get paid to think here. This is not what you don't. We don't. I don't think. I do. I just do. I do exactly what I'm told. I do exactly what I read. I just do. I'm a soldier. I'm a follower. I follow Christ. So I'm just going to do what Christ tells me to do. Follow God. I'm going to do what it tells me to do. I follow the men above me. I'm going to do what they tell me to do. That's what they tell me to do. Is what I'm going to do. Why? So I'm getting paid to think. Because I know my paycheck is coming from me making my election sure. The only way for me to make my election sure is to what? Is to do. I get paid to do. Abram right now, he's thinking. He's thinking so much right now. And the Lord is with him. Yeah, because the Lord wants to carry that on with him. He wants the line to go through Abram. But right now, Abram is still a young man. Abram hasn't even got the test that will make him an actual, we can say, trooper officer at this time. Yeah, Abram is just a young man, still in the world, trying to figure out, which is why he made the mistake of saying, telling her to say that she is his sister, which he so eloquently brought out. There's nothing stopping him from hollering at your sister. It's nothing. That's your sister. She's a grown woman. Yeah. She can do what she want to do.
Yeah. But he'll talk to you
right
about her, but realistically, he's trying to get at her.
Right. He don't care about you.
Yeah.
It's the same thing now. She like,
no, you talk.
Excuse me. Verse 14. And it came to pass that when Abram was coming to Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman that she was very fair.
So everything we talked about just now, right? So now all these men who live in Egypt, they're seeing Sarah, and they think of it like today, like, damn, she bad. She fine as hell. That's what they thinking. Here's the problem. He telling everybody that this is his sister. So we'll just read. I kind of already gave it away, but we'll continue reading. So, like, you got anything?
No, sir. Verse 15. The princess also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. So now the Egyptians saw, and now the princess of Pharaoh. We're talking about the baddest man in the land right now. His princess, the people under him, they saw her already before Pharaoh did. They going up to Pharaoh to tell him about, man, you see Shawty in here. She the baddest thing on earth right now in our land. So that's what they're going to tell him. Verse 15, the princess also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house.
So we're about to read it in 16 too. So again, it's his sister. That's why we keep talking about this. They're not thinking that this woman belongs to anybody.
Right.
You just traveling with your brother. Makes sense, because especially at this time, it's like, well, you kind of need like a man to like kind of accompany you when you go places. Like, okay, like I said, a lot of cultures do this today. I mean, you know, I'm not even gonna go to other cultures. I'll just focus with us. When a lot of times, like, okay, you got daughters. Some people like, you might let your daughter walk down the street, like, oh, like, give me this real quick from the corner store or whatever, right? But then what you do, you talk to big brother, hey, walk with her.
Yeah.
You know, now that's your protection. That's the man in your family to protect you at that time, right? And of course, going back to other cultures do it as well. When I went to Bahrain, they like, the woman will be there. It could be the mom, sister, or whatever. And then towards the back, they like how they do it. At least they let the woman walk towards the front. There's always a man in the back to kind of see like what's going on, because if you choose to go talk to him, he's going to intervene. Like, who are you? Like, you know, why are you? You know, so that's how they're taking it right now. Like, oh, this is just your brother. Okay, you know, we'll talk to him though. But they're really trying to get at her. You got anything before we go to 16?
Guys, taken. I want to get on that. I mean, I don't know how to get into it too much. The princess also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. I don't want to use the word kidnapping, but she wasn't just, they didn't ask, they didn't care. He is the Pharaoh of the land. He runs Egypt.
What they be saying, like, go fetch her from.
Yeah, go get her. And every woman, guess what? You better go. You got to think about the time they were in back then. Ain't no women's movement back then. Now, woman, you gonna do what a man says, well, that's it. And everyone just gotta sit there and swallow it. Now, Paul, yeah, no diddy. And I'm sorry saying that. No diddy.
Crazy.
I hope you don't get whatever.
No, you're fine.
No puff. Anyway, so basically, now if he would have just said, "This is my wife," it would have been some pushback on it. It just would have been. And the Lord, the same way. I know we didn't read it in chapter 20, verse 11, but the Lord came to Abimelech in a dream and said, "This man's wife." You don't think it wouldn't have happened now? The Lord is the same. He would have protected. If the Lord is with you, He would have protected you in any situation that you was in. But instead, again, you want to say this your sister? Well, we're gonna treat her like a sister. Like you really don't even have control over this property that you're with. Verse 16, and this is part you was getting at. Mm-hmm. And he entreated Abram well for her sake, and he had sheep and oxen and he asses and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels.
So basically, like, yeah, I kind of gave it away earlier, but now we can get more into detail. You got to understand, like you said, this is fair. This ain't like the average dude. Like, imagine like somebody of political power today that got power and money, and they're like, oh, I like her. So he's giving Abram all this stuff. Like, look, man, I got sheep, I got all these cattle.
Right.
I got all these, farm animals for you. I got this land. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you these servants.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna give you these maid servants. I'm gonna give you everything you want. Just let me have it, bro. Now, again, not Abram's greatest moment, and I'm glad you brought it out earlier. As far as remember, this isn't Abraham. This is Abram. This is prior to him shedding his old self, as you do when you come into the truth. You're whoever you were before then, and you come in here long enough, you prove yourself not to us,
Right.
but to the Most High, and the Most High gives you your name, and now you're this new creature. Abram is not this new creature yet, so he's still like he's a good man, but he ain't there yet.
Right.
And this is why, because Abraham wouldn't allow for this.
Right.
This is Abram. You got to think. This is wife. It's like y'all got to really understand this. This is his wife. Another man sent his men to go get your wife that you lied and said is your sister. Brought her to his crib, and pretty much like think of it as today this is a dowry. This is a dowry right here. Like how we have dowries in our custom. This is a dowry. I'm gonna give all this for her. Abram had, first of all, he should have never lied in the first place. Should have never did that. We read that back in Proverbs chapter 25,
29,
29, 24 and 25.
29, 25.
29, 25. So a lot. 29, 25, and Proverbs 28 and 1. You're not supposed to fear man because now you're in this trap. Abram, my point being is Abram created this trap. All he had to say was, "This is my wife." That's simple. Oh, my bad. That's it.
The Lord would have saved him.
That's all it would have been. And then, if, like you said, if it was somebody who wanted to be stupid enough to try something, think of it. The Lord just saved Abram by getting up out of that land. You don't think He's not going to save you now? This is where the naivety of Abram came into play because he's thinking the Lord is not in this place.
Right.
Let me tell you right now, the Lord ain't with America.
Right.
The Lord ain't with the French. The Lord ain't with the Portuguese. He ain't with the Europeans who run this earth right now. We in modern day Babylon. The Lord ain't with Babylon. But if you righteous enough, the Lord is with you. That's what Abram had to understand.
Right.
The Lord was already with him. That's why he's in Egypt now, to get up out of that other place where there was famine going on. If he would have kept that same mindset, he would have been to wild.
Come on.
But he feared man. He tricked himself. That's the snare.
That's what you do.
Trap.
Right.
Now, you got your wife in another man's house. You damn near, no, not damn near, you are. That's adultery. That's adultery. You are allowing for another man to get your woman
And told her,
yeah,
if I may,
go ahead.
and told her to say, "That's my brother." I mean, sister. You allow the lie, and sin just adds on to more sin. You allow the lie. Now you're about to allow adultery from the lie.
Exactly. Guess what? He's thinking of it like she's just listening to me right now. Imagine telling your wife, "Go sleep with that man."
Go.
And she looking at you like, "Huh? What you mean?" And you're just, "No, just do it." And she listening to you, that's what you're thinking. And she ends up doing it. You just made her a whore.
That's what you did.
You're a whoremonger now. You're a whoremonger. Matter of fact, give me before we continue. Like you said, Revelation 21 and 8. All the way in the back. Revelation 21 and 8.
He can treat Abram well for her sake.
Yeah. And a lot of can you give me 2 Timothy 1 and 7?
21 and 8.
21 and 8. Come on. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 8.
Go ahead.
But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers.
And whoremongers. What did it say in the beginning?
But the
fearful, not the fearful of God, but the fearful of man. Keep going.
Right.
And unbelieving.
And the unbelieving, meaning you don't believe in God. Keep going.
And the abominable and murderers and whoremongers
Go ahead.
and sorcerers
Keep going.
and adulterers.
Adulterers. Because guess what? If Sarai were to sleep with another man, she's now an adulteress. Keep going.
Right.
And all liars
Liars. What did Abram do? He lied. Keep going.
shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone,
Mhm.
which is the second death.
The second death. What was the first death? Give you a hint. What's the opposite of fire?
Water,
So what was the first death?
being drowned.
Being drowned. So what was you're right there. What was the first death that the Lord committed across the whole earth? It had to do with water.
Blood.
The flood. So guess what? We read it in Revelation. Revelation is to what? Reveal. You're revealing what's going to happen. That's the second death. If you're any of those things, you're going to die. Huh? And that's what's happening right here. You got 2 Timothy 1:7?
I got it. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear,
So you're not supposed to be fearful of man. Keep going.
but of power
Go ahead.
and of love and of a sound mind.
A sound mind, meaning what? Understanding. You understand. We understand. This is why this was put here. I know some people may read this and go, oh, Abram, he was just, man, no, he had, this was his flaw right here. This was something that he needed to check so later he could become Abraham.
Right.
We're reading this so we can have a sound mind. We got me, this brother right here, this brother right here. We got everybody who's watching the class online right now. We're reading this to understand this is not what a man should do. You should not do this because what we read in Proverbs 29 and 25, you're going to create, I'm paraphrasing, a snare. This was the trap. And this trap, Abram don't even peep it. He created the trap.
Right.
Not the Egyptians, not Pharaoh. No, it was Abram because he was a coward, which is why I brought it out earlier. This is what happens. You setting everybody else up for failure that you care about. Salakia, you got anything?
Romans 15 and 4.
Go ahead.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Everything you read in this Bible is to help you. Everything you read from the good and the bad. The bad are examples for, and everything that you see that is wrong that happens in the Bible, you see the consequence or the repercussion of it. You see it. You should say, hey, look, I'm not going to sleep with this man's wife because I know precepts about men sleeping with other men's wives. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to eat pork because I know the consequences that come out. I'm not going to do drugs because I know the consequences that come out. I'm not going to be this type of person because I know the consequences come out. But here's what I am going to do. I am going to do these righteous things because I see the blessings that come with it. Deuteronomy 28 is like one of the greatest chapters in the Bible because you know what happens if you do well. You know you get blessed. But you also know what happens if you do wrong. These curses shall be upon you and you will never get away from them. They're going to be on you. Abram, right, we are looking at it. Abram is a young man. I don't know how I thought about it, but Abram is a young man. And he's going through the same trial and tribulation that any young man goes through. You thinking, you still have some type of Christianity on you where you think you know what the hell you're doing. You don't know anything. You're stupid. Right now, as an officer, I'm stupid. That's why I don't think anything. I just do. I just read this book, saw what another brother did in the same time frame. At the same time in another different time. I see what he did, saw what happened. I don't do it. I'm not hard-headed like that anymore. Then I see a brother who did something righteous during another time frame, and guess what? I saw him get blessed, so I do the same thing now. Abram has just set his family, his house up for failure. Luckily, the Lord had other plans, but Abram has set his house up for failure. Is that what you want to be known as? A guy who set up his house for failure? That's what you are. Don't be that. I digress.
let's go to. Okay, so we're gonna go back to Genesis chapter 12, verse 17.
Hebrew boy. The book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 17. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife.
So, come on.
He could have just
Again, could have just said that's your wife, Bob. So why did the Lord plague Pharaoh's house? And the answer's in there. With great plagues because of Sarai, who's Abram's wife. Why did the Lord do that? Go ahead.
That's the Lord's property.
He says,
That's Abram's property.
there you go. Yes, that's Abram's wife. And for him to allow for his wife to be in another man's house and about to marry another man, what is that? What is that called? Adultery.
right.
And we just read in Revelation 21 and 8, there's a whole bunch, there's many other scriptures, but I just want to bring that one out. You won't burn. Adultery is a sin. That was never supposed to happen. You weren't supposed to fear man, Abram, but you feared man. And with that, not only did you cause the destruction towards yourself, but you started causing destruction towards your own wife. Guess what? The Lord was not pleased. He was not happy with what he was seeing. He understands, no, that's his one. What is this? What is this going on? So he caused a plague on Pharaoh and his house. Now, I want you to repeat something. This is very specific. Yeah, it's very specific. Remember, Abram lied. He said Sarai was a sister. At this point in time, Pharaoh doesn't know that this is his wife. But despite him not knowing, Lord he didn't care.
Right.
It's still adultery. That's why we tell brothers and sisters, we tell you, you in the world, you meet a sister in the world, make sure she doesn't have a man.
Right.
Ask her. And here we understand that sex is marriage. You meet a sister in the world, don't even bring up marriage, because in her mind, she doesn't understand that if she's already sleeping with a man, that's her husband. That's not her boyfriend. You need to ask her, what is her relationship status? Is she with anybody? Is she sleeping with anybody? I know some brothers, y'all might not be comfortable with that. You better get comfortable. You better find out.
Quit being scared of women.
You better do. I'm telling you right now. I promise you. You end up talking to a woman and you think, well, I don't know. I didn't ask her, so you should have asked. You're not dumb. You go in her house, you find some size 12 Tims, and she wore a size 6 in women's. Come on.
He's from the East Coast.
Like, I'm lying. But you know that there's a man in that house, and you still choose to sleep with her. Don't play dumb. Pharaoh wasn't playing dumb. He just didn't know.
Right.
But now you need to understand it's your job to know. You have to know. Because even if I didn't know, Lord don't care. You still might get punished.
Right.
Understand that. That's why it says right here, I want to bring that out, Abram lied. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house. So everybody understands Pharaoh. All his men servants, maid servants, everybody up in there. All the Egyptians. There's a plague on them. So not just Pharaoh, his servants are suffering too. You got anything before we continue?
Bye, sir.
Let's go to verse 18.
Verse 17, and the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Yeah, people, you have to understand what's going on. This man is like, everybody outside here believes in spookism, but I can understand why. The Lord is lighting your behind up. Just your house. Not everybody. Not all of Egypt. He's lighting up Pharaoh's house. The king of Egypt, basically. The Pharaoh of Egypt. He's lighting up his house. He's like, what's changed? Yeah, you bringing this fine woman up in here. You ain't stupid. You know good and damn well. You ain't stupid. What is the reason behind my house being plagued? We don't know what the plagues were, but we just know his house was being plagued. Why? Because he's doing evil to who? To a servant of the Lord. Remember, the Lord say, I'm going to bless who bless you, and I'm going to curse who curses you. This is not new. That someone is trying to do harm to you in your real, basically, and do harm in your life by sleeping with your woman. Pharaoh is freaking out. What did he say? What is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Imagine you just got so many plagues. You just, what you tell me?
Bro, every time I read that scripture, I always think, like, I imagine Pharaoh, like, why did you just tell me? Like, what are you doing? And, you know, if I could real quick, what just happened right there debunks what Abram thought. When you brought up Genesis 20,
right,
where he thought, the Lord's not in this land. The Lord with you.
Right.
That just showed the Lord was with you. You're in Egypt. So by default, the Lord is now in Egypt because he with you. So not just because you move from here to there, it don't matter. You still got to uphold the law.
Right.
You know, if you want to, if you don't, then well, look what happens. Now you got, like, they're heathens, don't get me wrong, but now even they look at this shoe like, bro, you bringing this mess up in my house? Come on. Why didn't you tell me this was your wife?
Come on.
And it showed that all Abram had to do was tell the truth. He let the spirit of cowardice, of fear of man overtake him. And again, this is the snare.
That's the snare.
This is the snare we're talking about. That's all I got. You got anything?
Hey, Hebrew boy, be quiet. Hey, let me ask you something, Hebrew boy. I'm glad you're on Hebrew boy, should I stop following who I follow to follow you? Just put yes or no in the chat. I know you're going to put no. You know why, Hebrew boy? Because you're not a leader. You should shut up. And you should just listen. You should come to class and be quiet just like everybody else. The water. Verse 18. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Verse 19. Why saidst thou she is my sister? You have to really understand how he's asking this question. He is right now. His behind is getting towed up, and why saidst thou she is my sister? So I might have taken her to me to wife. Now, therefore, behold thy wife. Take her and go thy way. Come on, get up out of here. I done gave you everything I'm gonna give you anyway. Get up out of here. Don't worry about it.
But again, we're gonna finish it up. But it just shows again what was with Abram the whole time, and now you bringing evil in this man's house because now he looking at you. Why didn't you just tell me this your wife? Like imagine. Think of it like this. Imagine today. I hope no brother ever does this. Imagine you going somewhere with your wife. You're so scared. You're like, oh, my wife is bad. I know people are going to talk to her. And just say you're my sister. Matter of fact, don't even say I'm a friend. Whatever. Right. Make up something, right? And then guess what? Some dude end up trying to holler at your wife. Because again, you're telling everybody to say my wife. And then somewhere he figures it out. It's your wife. Now he coming in like, why didn't you just tell me this your wife? You know how stupid you look?
You look like a coward.
You are a coward.
No one respects a coward.
Yeah, like why would you even do that? You're giving up your wife to boredom. Come on. That's what's gonna happen. If Pharaoh were to sleep with Sarai, Abram would have gave his wife to whoredom. You just made your wife sin. That's not he loved his wife, but I'm gonna tell you right now, that was not an action of love. Right. You pretty much throwing your wife into the fire because you're scared. Don't be like that. And as you can see, he created the snare himself. The Egyptians ain't created the snare. That's crazy because they the heathens. They ain't even create the snare. They over here like, what do you do? You just told them. Slut. Go ahead.
Nobody ever creates a snare. The Lord leaves the people around you. They're gonna do what they do. Your job is to not do what they do. Your job is to not fear them that say you're weird because you don't celebrate Christmas. Yep. Your job is to not fear them that says you're tripping because you don't celebrate birthdays and Halloween and Valentine's Day and Easter money that lays eggs because you don't go to church on Sunday or Wednesday or you're not a whore and you're gonna stay with your man, or you go to the club and you don't have sex with loose women. Watch it. Your job is to not set yourself up for a snare.
Exactly.
I'm not worried about what they got going. I don't fear man. I don't feel what man can do to me, and I damn sure don't feel what he can say to me or say about me. I'm not tripping. I serve the Lord. I serve the Lord. And guess what? Just like the Lord preserves all his brothers and his sisters, his children, he's gonna preserve me too. He's gonna preserve you too. Everyone was weak in this moment, and it was a very weak moment. But guess what? The Lord still had mercy and loving kindness for him and got him out of that. And was destroying and lighting the behind up of the person who was putting them through it, even though he was doing it himself. That's what you should be taking from this. That's what you should start to understand about this. I've been saying it since we started Genesis. Don't look at Genesis as if it's just something old. Everything in Genesis is happening right now. The beginning is the beginning, but guess what? The beginning is the future as well. Because there's going to be a new beginning. There's always a new beginning. There's always a new test. Guess what? Every test that you ever going to go through is already in the Bible. Every situation you're ever going to go through, all the way in the Bible. This is to perfect you. This is to perfect your craft. This is spiritual. Stop looking at everything so carnal. It's not just a book. This book is a real life example on how you should live your life and how you should be, so the Lord can continue, or the Lord should start blessing you. I digress.
Nah, that's too wild. But yeah, man, like, you really got to understand, like, we don't just teach you this stuff just for no reason. We're teaching you this for you to learn, to take this and go into your everyday life and be like, you know what? There are men who are in the Bible who had moments of weakness. And you saw what happened when they showed those moments of weakness. There's also brothers who did amazing things.
Right.
And the Lord was with them. So you got to take that and understand, you know what? Okay, you know, I want to be like this. I don't want to be like this. Because you see, you can turn on the TV anytime you want and see what happens to people that look like us when they serve man, when they fear man. Y'all already know how weird Hollywood is.
Right.
Yeah, there's a whole, what we talking? Oh, Ryan Garcia, I believe he's Isupk. So, brother, he's frantic now because he's bringing out like all the twisted and disgusting things that he has seen, that he was forced to see, and things that happened to him. He said it. Now he's quiet. I feel bad for that brother, because that brother may think he serves the Lord, but he actually really doesn't.
Right.
I don't blame him, because he's been lied to.
Right.
Now he's trying to profess his life, how much he loves Yahushua.
Right.
They beating him down. They beating him down, and they like, shut up. You're going to do what we tell you to do. Sadly, he fears man. Y'all see it happen every single time. You don't want to be like that. Like you said earlier, there's men that let their wife sleep with other men. Don't be Adam 22. Don't be that. That's disgusting. But there's going to be people who will look at you like you're weird. Like, what? You don't let your wife let. Why are we even having this conversation? You're a weirdo. I don't want to be like you. You should want to serve the Lord at all times, despite whatever else is going on. But sometimes, just like right here, it's in your head. It's in your head. Nobody was, if he just would have said, "It's my wife," this wouldn't even be in the Bible.
Right.
But he had a moment of weakness, so it had to be called out. Don't do that. It's a lot.
And if I may, you can be fearful, but don't let the fearfulness make you do a fearful act. It's just in real life example. If a fight is about to break out, me personally, I am nervous and I am afraid before every fight. I'm gonna fight. I'm not running. I'm not running. I can guarantee you that. And I'm probably about to win because I'm gonna go all out. Well, that's how you should feel with the Lord on your side. Yeah, they are coming against us. They are attacking us. They are saying we have lost our mind and we are in a cult. But guess what? We're justified by everything that we do. They don't know the Bible. They don't know God. You have to really look at those people in the world and realize they do not know who God is. They have no idea who God is. Their God is something they've been taught from liars. You're the only people, you're that special where you're the only people on the planet Earth who really know who God is. who really understands the Lord, who sees the Lord as a father figure, who sees him as a husband. You're the only people who sees that. They don't. You have to be patient with these people. You have to realize these people don't know a damn thing. You are smarter than them. You're not dumb. You're intelligent. You're in the school for a reason. The Lord saw something in you, and the Lord wants you to be near unto him, so you can be near unto your kids, to be near unto your grandkids, to be near unto your great-grandkids, to be near unto you once you come back. Don't be fearful. Don't ever be scared. Things happen. If someone has a pistol in your face, it's a lie. Don't cower out. Don't cower out. Serve the Lord in that time, and guess what? The Lord will spare your life. And then the Lord will punish him or her. Like, what you
yeah. Proverbs 27.
The book of Proverbs chapter 1, oh, of course. The book of Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
That's pretty cut dry. Don't be a fool. It says the fear of the Lord. Now, I wanted to say, like, you can fear.
Right.
But fear the Lord, though. Fear the Lord more than you fear the light.
Right.
Fear that. Fear what could happen to your family if you choose to sin.
Right.
Fear for your own self if you choose to sin. Fear of what might happen and continue to happen to your descendants if you sin. Fear that. Fear that.
Right.
If you really want to fear something, don't fear man, though. Why? Because when you fear the Lord, guess what? It says, is the beginning of knowledge. This was if you would have feared the Most High back in Egypt, as it's crazy because at one point he did fear the Most High.
Right.
You would have kept that same respect and fear for the Most High, you would have been fine, huh? You would have been perfectly fine. All right. And just if I could, real quick, we're human. We understand like fear is a natural, it's a natural body response, letting you know that you're in danger.
Right.
But there are some things you gotta you just gotta suck it up. You gotta face that. All right. You gotta be as bold as a lion, as Proverbs 29 and 25. Yes. Or was it 28 and 1? It's in Proverbs though.
28 and 1. I think
28 and 1. You gotta be bold, You gotta be bold. You gotta have the ability to overcome fear. You know what that's called? It's called courage. You gotta have courage.
Mm-hmm.
So lock it. That's all I got.
If I may, why do you think a drug dealer deals drugs? Fear. The fear of being poor. He fears what he'll become in this world instead of fearing the Lord. The Lord will make you rich or poor anytime he wants. You might have some bright idea and the Lord will make you rich off it. You never know. Why do you think a woman is a whore? She's fearful. She's fearful of the attention she might not get. She might be fearful of men because what might have happened to her at a young age. There are many factors on why someone is sinning. It comes from fear. Why does someone get high? Because their life is horrendous. They can't face it, so they have to get high. And a drug dealer preys upon that. A drug dealer will prey upon your fear. You so worried about the police that you go and get in a high-speed chase and add something on top of what you got to pull over for a tail light. Keep your hands on the wheel. You'll be all right if you fear the Lord. You're now arguing with the police because you're scared. Instead of you saying, officer, here go everything I got because I fear the Lord and I'm not worried about you. Officer, you're going to give me the ticket any goddamn way. Just give it. Yep. You live such a life of fear, you just add more sin on your sin. When the scripture say in John 8:32, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. Free from what? Free from sin. Free from the persuasion of being a sinner. Free from the coercion of being a sinner. If somebody put a notice on my door, say, hey, look, man, we about to kick you out. Don't worry, I'm not in fear, so I'm not gonna go sell drugs to make some money. I'm not gonna pimp my wife out to make some money. I'm not gonna lie and steal and cheat to go make some money. I'm not in fear. There's nothing you can do to me that the Lord can't do for me. Hey.
Yep. It's not 20. Nope. 20 left.
Okay. The book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 20. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away and his wife and all that he had. Man, the Lord was with this brother. Even though he was a little afraid, the Lord still was with him. The Lord, he walked in there, ain't had too much, walked out of there with a lot. Walked out of there with he asses, she asses, maid servants, men servants, cattle, the whole nine, and food. The Lord's still gonna be with you. The Lord always shows up when you least expect it. The Lord shows up in mysterious ways and you just cannot understand because your ways is not his ways. I digress.
You gotta be courageous. Like, even when you face with danger, like you might, I'm afraid nobody ever experienced something like this, but somebody might have a gun to your head. And I don't know if I could say it in a way that's like PG, but somebody might have a gun to your head and they want you to do illicit activities towards them. Are you going to do it because you fear them?
The gun might jam, and you tear his behind up.
You want to shoot me? I'm not. So ain't no way. And you're right. The gun might jam. Somebody might see what's going on.
Right.
I don't know. The Lord might send somebody to go.
Yeah, you just never know.
You don't know. You know, maybe he flinched and now you're able to fight back. You never know. My point is just don't be a coward. Be courageous. That's what you can take.
If I may, Daniel was thrown in the lion's den twice. He was thrown in the lion. The hungry, they didn't even feed the lion because they knew they was going to throw him in the den. These are hungry lions, and he went up in there. When have men or women of the Lord who serve the Lord ever not been saved out of their danger? You can't bring up a story. Sorry.
That's all I got. For everybody that's tuned in, the water, if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to close the class with prayers. And with that, I might just meet the brother here.
La Yasha'Allah, which means two or for Israel. Majum Hapanya Hakudam, which means to rise and face the east. We'll be closing the class out with the prayers in the Hebrew and in the English. This is the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayah, Kodash, Hayah, Isupk Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratz, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayah, Nathan Lanawa, Bakam, Paul, Yawam, Wasalak now, Kabawaf now, Kasalak now, Kabawaf now, Wala'ah, Tabaya Anawa, Balasayawan, Abal, Awashai now, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Pa'ara, La'aiwalamyam, Aman.
Now in English,
Our Father,
which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Amen. It's a cock the power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Bawa Kasha, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Larpa'ah, Kal Maka'Allah, Wakal Manawa, Hakak, Lata Heart, Hamat is a Ryan, Hakak, Lahaquan. Shun, Basham, Yahushua, go water, Amen.
Now in the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua,
Please
give
us the power.
Give us the power.
Power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahushua? Why Ma'aka Allah? Why Allahayim? But Matazab Ya'ah. Alawak Yahana. Halawamkim. Hasaranyam. Hakwatas are Yunyam. Hakayah Yunyam. Waha Akwakim. Yahweh. Hashem. Yahushua. Go water. Amen.
Now in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And
Yahushua.
And Michael.
And
the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
General. Captains.
Captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Yanya,
Yanya,
all, Aharyam, Mayan,
Yan,
Yaba'a, Azoya, Ma'ain, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Wa'aratazah, all Yathan, Lamawat, Regalka, all Yanawam, Shamarka, Ana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yashan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Al Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaka, Wayarach, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashmarka, Bakal, Rak, Yashamar, after Pascha, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Afka, Wabawa Afka, Ma'ata, Wa'ait, Aywalam.
Now for the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hill.
I will lift up my eyes into the hill.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help? My help
cometh from the Lord.
Coming from the Lord,
Which made heaven
and
earth.
He
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold. He that keepeth Israel.
He that keepeth Israel shall not slumber.
Nor sleep.
Lord is thy keeper. Lord is thy keeper.
Lord is thy shade.
Lord is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee.
The Lord shall preserve thee
all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy
The
soul.
Lord shall preserve thy going out.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
And thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth
And even
forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. All them yellow cup.
All them yellow cup.
All takorash. Well, all tashakwat. All. Kayahana. Owayam yakam. Yahama yawan. Ra'ash. Al aimaka. Ya'ara yamwa. Sawadah. Wayata. Ya'atazawa. Al tazapawanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanakakita. Magaya. Wala'a. That's the cart. Shem Yashala. I would die. Kaya. Now what Atazawa. The Ba. The Kadwa. Al Yaka. Baria. Yakarathwa. Ahoya. Alawam. Why? Yashamai. Alayam. Mawa Abba. Wahagaryam. The ball. Wama one. Wama lock. Palashat. Shine your shot. Taza war. Gamasha war. Nalawa. Amam. Hayawam. Zarawai. The Bunya. The Wat. Salah. Aisha. Lahum. Kamadim. Kasaya. Sara'ah. Kayabya. Manakar. Koyatwa. Nashamawa. Bayan. Dara. Hayawa. Daman. Nadama. Shayatamwa. Nada. Yamawa. Haira. Wakasa Abba. Wakasa Bak. Wakasa Zarmana. Call. Nasa Yakumwa. Ashar. Amarwa. Nayarasha. Lanawa. Nawa. Alahayam. Alahaya. Shatamwa. Kagagala. Kakwash. The Punya. Rabaka'a. Ka'ash. Taba Ira. Yaira. Wa. Kalahaba. Kalahat. Horyam. Kun. Daradapma. Basa Irika. Wabasa. Wapaka. Dabahalam. Mala'a. Punyahum. Kuala One. Waya. Bakwashwa. Shamka. Yahawah. Yabashwa. Waya. Bahawa. Ayait. Waya. Kaparwa. Waya. Abadwa. Waya. Dawa. Kaya. Athaf. Shamka. Yahawah. The Badka. Al-Yuan. Al-Kal. Ha-al-Ratazah.
Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God. For lo,
thine
enemies
make
make a tumult.
and
They that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people. And
consulted
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come
and
let us cut them off.
From being a nation that the name of Israel
maybe no more
remembered.
For they have consulted together. With one consent.
They
are confederate against it.
They're confederate against it.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of
Moab.
And Hagareen. Gabal. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
Assur also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah.
Do unto them.
As unto the Midianites.
As to Sisera.
As to Jabin.
At the brook of
Kison. Which perished at the door. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a ram. And like Zaid. Yea. All the princes as a bot. And as Amunia. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As stubble before the wind. As fire burns the wood. And as flames set the mountains on fire.
So
persecute them with thy tempest.
And make them afraid
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
That
they may seek thy name.
Oh Lord.
Let them be confounded.
And trouble forever.
Yea.
Let them be put to shame. And perish.
Men may
know that thou,
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
art the
most high,
all the
earth.
Sorry, fix me. All right. That's what's up.